My name is Braden Griffiths, and welcome to the Sideline Show.
Everybody, listen up!
It's the Sideline Show.
Long go, rebound box, back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang! Everybody's ready to go. He's ready to go. I'm ready to go, and you're ready to go.
Introducing now the host of the Sideline Show, Jackson Prince.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? You are watching the Sideline Show. I am your host, Jackson Prince, and today I have on a guy who has the most elite basketball takes I have ever heard in my life. No, but in all seriousness, guys, he's a good friend of mine. We do business together over at Run DFW. He's kind of the man behind the curtain with the Beyond the Arc podcast at Run DFW, so make sure that you guys go check that out after watching this episode. I've got my man, Braden Griffiths. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely,
It's nice to be in Austin.
Dude, so this is the first episode I've recorded in Austin since I was down here, previously.
Yeah.
So man, it's nice to get back into it, get a feel for Austin and everything. You came down for the A&M game. How was that?
Came down for the A&M game. Crazy game. A&M was up like 14 at half. And then my boy Julian Larry, I mean, it was fun to kind of watch him control the game and be a leader and stuff like that, but he actually got me a ticket, so shout out to Julian. But it was awesome atmosphere at the end of the game. Texas wins by 1, so it was awesome. The Moody Center is unbelievable. Like, I couldn't believe how nice it is.
Yeah, dude, it's almost like professional basketball teams play there.
yeah.
No, I mean it's dope, bro. I remember like when I was on my visit, when I was getting recruited to come here.
Yeah.
We just walked right through the middle of Moody, and I was like, How do college athletes play in a building like this? In the same place as like concerts, and like Dave Chappelle performed there the day after one of our games.
They had WWE last night.
Yeah, they had WWE last night. And now today it's just Texas A&M.
And then you see the standing room only seats at the top, and it's always
and they
full.
lift up the things. Dude.
Yeah, the screens all the way around. Like,
it's high level.
It's literally like being in an NBA arena.
Well, you know who designed it?
Who?
Matthew McConaughey.
He designed the whole thing?
Yeah, bro. This podcast is sponsored by Bology. Growing up as a youth basketball player, especially one where it was my job to hit shots, I became obsessed with data analytics and tracking all of my workouts and knowing my shooting percentages from every spot on the floor. Now, back then, the way that I would do that is I would shoot 20 shots on the gun and I would count in my head, and then I would have to run over to a notebook and write it down. And I was running back and forth from this notebook for an hour and a half, 2 hours during my workout. Another thing that I struggled with was actually coming up with drills that continuously challenged me and made me a better basketball player. So I spent countless hours on YouTube and social media trying to find drills that were new and different that allowed me to grow in my game as a basketball player. Luckily for you, there's a place that you can go that'll give you all of the drills necessary to become better at basketball, taught by guys who actually played at the professional level, paired with the data tracking and the analytics aspect of it, so that way you can actually see yourself getting better over long periods of time. One of the main problems with youth athletes today, especially basketball players, is that they go in the gym with no intention of what they're going to do for the day. They spend 2 hours jacking up a bunch of shots. They don't even know how they actually shot from a percentage standpoint, and then they leave and they don't even know if they got better. Well, now you can avoid all of that by downloading the Bology app. I wish I had an app like Bology, which is basically just a one-stop shop that holds all of the key resources that you need to grow and develop in your game as a basketball player, take your game to new heights, and actually see the incremental improvement along the way, which is huge in terms of building confidence as a basketball player. So take your game to the next level and download the Bology app today. McConaughey,
He had help.
He had help from, I forget who, but I know McConaughey was like a super integral part. If you're walking on like the, I forget what it's called, but like the main area that's like
the concourse.
Yeah, the concourse, yeah. If you're walking on the concourse and you look on the wall, you can see a sketch of the original mapping of Moody drawn by Matthew McConaughey.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you got to think he gave a lot of money, too. And that whole
of
thing.
Course he did. Well, you know he owns Austin FC.
I had no idea.
Yeah, bro.
So he just runs this city.
It's McConaughey's city and Moody's city.
And Musk and Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bro, so you were saying Jake and the boys went to Comedy Mothership.
They went to Comedy Mothership. They loved it.
Yeah. Well, you know that's Rogan's spot.
Rogan's spot.
Yeah, bro. Like, dude, it's sick, man. Austin has so much to offer. And I told you, I was like, I love Austin. And you were like, really? Why? And now that you're down here.
Now that I'm down here, I'm figuring it out.
You get it.
I'm figuring it out. And I was thinking
it.
about it too, like as a recruit, like I don't know how you'd say no to Texas. Like with the brand new facility, because we got the facility tour yesterday, which you obviously know a lot about.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, state of the art,
Beautiful.
Moody Center, incredible. And I was like, I don't know how like these people say no to this. Like I don't know how recruits say no. And then also like for recruiting purposes moving forward with NIL, and you can speak to this too, because I feel like for so long it was like in college sports it was like the arms race with facilities because you couldn't pay players.
Yeah.
And now that you can pay players, I'll be interested to see like what happens with the facilities because it's so competitive right now. I don't know how they'll manage it.
Especially in places like Austin, cities like Austin, where the real estate is just so expensive.
Yeah.
Like obviously the cost of the actual building of the facility was like 10 million or something. Mm-hmm. But then you got to think about like the plot of land, and then the school has to pay property taxes on that. But then also like in conjunction with Moody, I don't know if you know this, but they've partnered with like the Oakview Group, who's like one of the main investors for Moody. So the school has the agreement. The reason why they can host concerts and comedy stuff there and WWE, the reason that they can do that is because they've made an agreement, the school has, with the city of Austin to like get like leverage the most out of the taxpayers' money by having large community events there. So that's why that's even a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because originally it was just like, oh, for Texas basketball.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no, dude, if we're going to do this, let's just not build another Cooley. Let's do it right and like have WWE.
Yeah, the old one was not it. Not it there
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you get to see it?
No, I didn't go inside because they had like roped everything off for deconstruction or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah,
now
yeah.
it's like almost flat over there.
I think so.
Crazy. Yeah, I walked by it the other day. I was like, whoa, like there was just a giant building here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy, bro.
Unbelievable.
But I saw the outside of it during my recruiting stuff, but
Have you enjoyed being back though? Feels like home again?
feels like home. It's weird. It's weird being back for sure, especially because I'm not an athlete. So like I'm in classes with athletes. So like I'll see them walk in and they got all their Texas gear and I'm like, yeah, he feels like he's the shit for sure.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's cool, man. I have a lot more time on my hands to do things that I actually really enjoy doing, like podcasting. Doing some other media stuff. Obviously, being a student is weird.
Right.
I don't enjoy being a student, even though like historically I've always been a good one. I hate being a student, bro.
Like not being associated with anything, essentially?
Well, that, but then, I mean, really just being in a classroom, bro. Like, I hate, I can't.
You just don't like school.
I just don't like school, man. Now, I like learning about things that I actually care
like
about.
real estate.
Yeah, like real estate. I love learning about real estate, love learning about investing and business and like all that stuff. But then I got to go take British literature.
And you're
And
like,
I'm
how's this, yeah.
Like, we're reading about guys who died hundreds of years ago. It's just not interesting, bro.
You don't like history?
It's not particularly. No.
Yeah, that's not for me either.
I like hoops. I like business. I like people.
I can relate. That
Yeah,
sounds a lot
I know you
like
can.
me.
I know you
Yeah,
can,
that
dude.
sounds a lot like me.
And man, I think, guys, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think you are the only person I've had on the podcast who can shoot as good or better than me.
We haven't really set it up though.
We haven't set it up, but I know you can shoot.
That was like my whole job. I maybe took, not even kidding. So I played like 15 minutes a game this past year. I probably took 7 to 10 2-pointers all year.
That's insane. That's Jack Golke. Like
The year before, I took like 2.
yeah.
I literally like took 2 like one dribble pull-ups. Everything else straight threes.
Sounds like me in high school. Dude, me in high school.
Well, your team was so good.
Fast break layups. I was running to the corner.
I know.
Like-
That's your signature.
I told you.
The
I
fast break three.
I mastered the transition 3. That's what I
Yeah.
did, bro. 65%. That's a real number pulled by real data.
High school, high school was kind of fun for me because I was kind of forced to do more. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get the experience of like being on a good team.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Frisco Reedy.
Okay.
Frisco Reedy. So we were like the 10th high school in Frisco. And if Frisco had three high schools, we would be elite every year.
I like
Loaded.
this argument. Do you think that they would be better than a Duncanville?
I think we could compete. Like we didn't.
I
Now,
agree.
like when I was there, like we didn't have. Like Julian was one of the best players in our league. So like we had Julian and they had Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
So like Marvin
That
Mims,
year, yeah, for
Marvin
sure.
Mims is great at everything.
Yeah.
He won state of Texas all-time receiving record, and then while I'm a senior, wins the offensive player of the year in our league. It's it's like I can't win at anything.
Dude, when did you realize, to that point, when did you realize you weren't going to the NBA?
Really early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
really early. Dude, I mean, I don't know if I ever really thought I was going to the NBA. Like
Really?
Yeah, no. Like
Oh, see, I was delusional.
no, I always want to play Division I basketball. Like
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that, and then you get to a point like in high school and you're like, that's not really what I want to do, but I know I want to play. And so then you kind of start shifting what your goals are, and it becomes a little more realistic and clear. So like I always wanted to go Division I when I was younger. That's something that I always wanted to do, and I liked thinking about that kind of stuff, but it honestly worked out perfect for me.
Yeah.
Like going small school, but also I kind of got the best of both worlds because I went to Baker University, which and it's in like small town Kansas, but it's like 10 minutes from Lawrence, which is where KU is.
Yeah.
So I kind of got the best of both worlds, had family at all my games and stuff like that. So kind of worked out anyways, but that was definitely going to the NBA. I don't know if I ever truly believed that. When did you figure that out?
Well, I played at a really good high school. So
You're playing with AB and Ron.
I think sophomore year because well, it's a funny story. I think sophomore year was when I was fully set. Like, I don't have a chance because and you saw this guy play today, Zurich Phelps.
Yeah.
He was the one who put it into my head, I don't have a chance, because we were doing some one-on-one drill where you had to run through the whole team. Mm-hmm. And I was having a really good day as a sophomore. And I was killing. I was locking people up and I was getting buckets. So I was feeling full of myself. Now, Z had just like rolled his ankle maybe 15 minutes before in practice. And I looked over and I said something to the effect of, good thing you rolled your ankle so you didn't have to come deal with me.
This was your sophomore year?
This is my sophomore
year.
year.
You were talking shit like that?
Yes, sir.
At 15 years old?
Well, I was a 17-year-old sophomore. But
Okay.
yeah,
okay.
because I had reclassed and I was already old.
I didn't even realize you reclassed.
Yeah, dude, I did 8th grade twice.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we'll talk about that chart.
So that's second year of 8th grade. You were killing.
40. Dude,
Yeah.
hold on. I was one steal away from a quadruple double.
What?
Game. Yeah.
Who
One
were you
steal
playing
away.
against?
That game? Midgets? I mean, literally. No. I'm not saying this to be funny.
When did you grow,
And I have,
though? Because that also is part of it.
No. Braden, I don't think you understand. The school was for little people.
That's not real. That's not a thing.
East Grand Preparatory. I was at ILT. We played East Grand Prep, and we walked in, and they were warming up, and someone goes, "Oh, they have a 4th grade team?"
I can't believe this.
No, brother. This was their 7th and 8th grade team.
I almost feel wrong just commenting on this.
Oh, don't. This is not a politically correct show. I'm not interested in that. This is my show. I'm not interested in being politically correct. So no, dude, 40 quadruple double. Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to clarify that when you're describing it to people.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
You're right. You
I don't because I was one steal. Yeah, man, I was one steal away from quadruple double. They don't know. They only know what I tell them, Braden.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, dude. But no, I called out Z, and I was like, "Good thing you got hurt, so you didn't have to come deal with me." Here he goes, tying his shoes up. He's like, "You want offense or defense?" Me, I'm still feeling it. Defense, bro.
I've never said that in my life.
Yeah,
I would have never.
I think
said
that was the
in my
last
life.
time I said that.
Yeah.
overcross, through, like I wasn't even there, dunks. It's like he moved through me.
I've never once wanted to be on an island defensively. That sounds horrible.
I've asked for it a few times. That was one of the last time. That wasn't the last time. That was one of the last time I asked for it. The next time was with AB.
Yeah, why are you asking for that?
Dude, I told you I was delusional, Braden.
You're picking up Anthony Black 94 feet.
That was my whole junior year. Bro, you can ask anyone who played with me.
Like
I chose to pick him up 94 feet.
How do you enjoy going to practice?
I didn't, but I knew it was making me better.
I'm sounding like not a competitor right now. I don't mean to sound that way.
Yeah.
I just played my role.
Yeah. Well, okay.
And in high school, I just played offense.
Now, granted, of course, I would have rather guarded anyone else. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Like, normally I was guarding Sykes, which is still a tough task. But AB, 94 feet, that's hard to do.
Was Z there all 4 years?
Z was there my freshman and sophomore year. He had just transferred in my freshman year. I remember because I was on JV.
That?
Well, he was...
I feel like I should know this.
He was from Odessa.
Okay.
He went, like, Midland.
Yeah.
I think he went to, like, Midland High first 2 years and then moved. And then he brought his brother Evan, and then that's why KJ ended up coming, was because he went to El Paso Chapin,
okay,
which was, like, right down the street. So then he moves to Duncanville. He was actually supposed to come. Bro, if people had transferred in, if the people we thought were going to transfer in had transferred in, and people who did transfer in had transferred in earlier, I never would have played. I shouldn't have touched the court at Duncanville. It's a miracle I did.
That's sometimes how it goes, though.
Injuries at key points in the season were huge for me ever getting minutes.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, Eric Demings goes down.
Next man up.
Now I'm sixth man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to being, like, eighth man.
Because y'all probably didn't play a lot of people, like, when you have that talented of a team. 32-minute games, like...
8-man rotation. In the playoffs, 8-man rotation. There was no breaking that. If you weren't in that 8-man rotation, you weren't getting minutes. Now, during the season, yeah, we'd go 10. We'd go 5 in, 5 out sometimes.
Well, and also, I guess, y'all are blowing teams out. So there's garbage time, and you're playing people extra minutes and doing that whole thing.
Sometimes... But, dude, there was a point in the season, my sophomore year, where I told – maybe it was my junior year – where I told Peavy that he should flip the starting lineup. And, like, the second 5 should be starting, and the starting lineup should be on the bench. And this was with AB and Ron and all those guys starting.
Did he do it?
Of course not. Well, he would have lost his job.
Yeah.
But the 3 games in a row, gotten off to slow starts. PV is losing it. He subs in 5 in, 5 out. First sub, we go from down 7 to like up 15, 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, I don't know what. And he's telling us in the locker room, like, I don't know what to do with you guys. I said, I go, shit, coach, I should be starting. And everyone was just like, bruh. Bro, Braden, I was delusional, bro. Until the middle of my junior year. Then
irrational confidence is a skill, though. And obviously it needs to be tamed. Like, you see guys like this in the league all the time that have, like, the irrational confidence guys that come into the game and they're getting them up no matter what. I wish I had more.
King
of that.
McClure and TBT?
No. King took good shots.
Yeah,
he took good shots. He did say he was getting them up no matter what.
That was a great episode, bro.
It was. But that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But no, I do wish I had more of that, though.
Yeah.
Because every season for me, life of a shooter, you go through any sort of stretch and you're just beating yourself up. And you start hesitating a little bit. It's like, this is what I do. I shoot every day. And it's just kind of part of it. But, I mean, I feel like I'm so much better now just for going through those experiences.
As a shooter, how do you, as a shooter, get out of a slump?
I mean, I think it's just consistent work. Like, I think it'll come eventually, you know what I mean? I think you kind of have to force yourself to keep shooting it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly your job. Like, I could miss 12 straight. And if I passed up the 13th, like, everybody on our team would have been cussing me out. So that makes it a little bit easier, too. It's like, I got to shoot this. This is my job. And, I mean, it's hard to handle that, obviously, in the moment. But I think the only thing you can do is stay consistent.
Did you ever feel like, because I felt like this quite often, did you ever feel like that your contested shot was better than someone else's open shot?
For sure. I felt that way in high school more than I felt that way in college. Like in college, we had an awesome team my last 2 years. This year they're like 18-1. They've won 16 straight. They're 16-0 in the league. We were loaded. And so I just had my role, and I was going to shoot it when I was opener. I was swinging it. I'm a good screener, and just be super loud on defense, be a good communicator. And that was kind of my role, and it worked out that way. Like, it was good. Like, I can't move my feet like that, let's be honest.
But you're going to be loud.
But I can be loud. I can be loud. I can scream. I can be in the right spot. But, no, I mean, like, in high school, I definitely felt that way because we weren't very good, and it's like, sometimes this is the best thing that we can get, but.
Yeah, I had those moments a lot in AAU. I had those moments in high school because of PV. PV had so much faith in me shooting the ball, and he subbed me out very often because I would pass up a shot that I didn't take, or I would pass up a shot that I should have taken, and he would just I would hear the buzzer.
And I think that's the best way to coach shooters
for sure.
I think where it's tricky is whenever the coach is like, you got to make a shot or something like that. It's like, just keep I don't know. I think the best way to coach shooters is to have them keep shooting.
Added pressure on a shooter doesn't help. You got to
Not
make
at
shots.
all.
Coach, I know. What,
It's
you think I'm out here purposely messing up my percentage?
No chance.
Make it make sense.
I check that after every single game.
Percentage?
3-point percentage.
Bro,
every single game.
every
I'm watching
game.
it move, checking where it is in the league.
Thank you, bro.
I was doing all of that.
Shooters get it, but I tell this to other hoopers, and they're just like, what do you care about percentages for? I care more about shot attempts.
Points per game.
I would rather go 2 for 4 than 4 for 13.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All day, bro.
4 for
It's not
13,
even close.
4 for 13 in a loss, you feel like you were the reason.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, you missed 9 shots in a game. Now, look, I tried not to be the guy where if I'm missing shots, I'm just going to crap out. I had games like that, though, for sure.
For sure. It's how it goes.
Life
of a shooter.
Yeah.
For
it's
sure.
Tough, bro. I feel like it's the hardest role. If your singular job is everyone on the team is expecting you to not only shoot it, but you got to make a good percentage of them. I feel like that's one of the most high pressure roles.
Well, and also in a lot of those roles, if your sole job is to shoot threes, you're probably not playing 3/4 of the game. You're probably playing your 10 to 15 minutes like I did. And so you're coming in the game kind of cold. And your minutes kind of vary. My last year is kind of I came in at this time, came out this time. If I made a few in a row, I play a little bit extra, that type of thing. But if you come in the game cold, or the worst is when you're down 9 and there's a few minutes left. It's just get them out there, and you just go start getting them up.
You just got to start chugging, hopefully.
Yeah. There's a couple times where we'd be down 3 with 10 seconds left, and I haven't played in 20 real life minutes. So it might have been 8 or 9 game minutes, but 25 minutes. I haven't gone in
a
game.
whole quarter.
We got one possession to tie the game, and then I get thrown out there to go shoot a 3. It's
bro,
that feeling is tough. Now you want it for sure because you put in the work and you want the moment. But yeah, it's a tough moment for sure.
So this is what I did to counteract the cold shooting.
Okay.
Especially during high school. During college, I was a redshirt. I was just getting out, doing whatever in practice. But in high school, I knew that I would come into the game with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. So I had sat for 5 minutes up until that point. So what I would do is I would be on the gun. I would shoot 2 shots. I would go sit down. No BS. I would be in the gym by myself. I would go sit down for 3 minutes. I would put 3 real life minutes on the timer. My sweat would dry up. I'd be dry. I would get up and sprint 3 times down and back. 2 shots, sit down. And I'd repeat that for an hour.
And you think that helped?
I know it helped because My junior year, end of sophomore year, going into junior year, my biggest struggle, I had 7 or 8 games where I missed my first shot. I would pretty much always hit my second one. But if you miss your first shot to start the game coming off the bench as a shooter, it's a tough, it's a tough thing because there's not a win-win there. It's either you're 50% or you're 0%. But if you hit your first one, you're 100%. Yeah. It's wide open. You miss it. You might get subbed out depending on the situation.
And all of it. Yeah.
Right. But going into my junior year, I had 13 straight games where I hit my first shot coming off the bench, and it was after I started doing that workout.
Really?
Huge increase in first shot shooting percentage. Huge increase. It got to where that junior and especially senior year, I was maybe 80% on first shot attempts.
Which is unbelievable.
Oh, that's insane. That's an unreal percentage. Now my second one, this is where I got better with it as time went on. My junior year, especially my senior year, my second shot would almost always be a miss because I would have hit my first one, and then the second one I just throw it up like I'm Curry.
Yeah. You're shooting it from the volleyball line.
Yeah.
That was the best. The trail 3 from the volleyball line straight on. It's so natural.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like left wing trails.
Hot take, I don't like the corner as much as the wings and the tops. I like the slots and the wings more than I like the corner.
It's not a hot take. I hate shooting from the corner.
I understand in the NBA because the corner 3 is shorter.
That seems like a BS excuse to me, though.
Well, it's weird, though, because some guys, they shoot insane percentages from the corner. Like PJ Tucker. You seen PJ Tucker,
Another Texas guy.
Only shot corner 3s.
Yeah. He shot 2 wing threes.
Led the league in corner 3-point percentage.
Yeah. For 6 years.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier
As a
when you're just
6'6"
getting
center?
spoon-fed by
James Harden. Yeah. And you're so worried about him getting, or Nerlens, or not Nerlens Noel, Clint Capella on a roll.
On the lob?
Yeah.
Because, Harden's coming off the ball screens. It's just lob or floater, or he's dishing it corner wide open.
And then you got Austin Rivers playing garbage minutes trying to get bag work in.
I love Austin Rivers.
I like Austin Rivers too.
Do you listen to any of his analysis stuff that he does now, his podcast?
Some, not
I
a lot.
love Austin Rivers.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's actually pretty fun to listen to.
I think my favorite NBA podcaster, I have 2. Obviously, Jeff Teague.
He's hilarious.
He's just hilarious.
He's unbelievable.
Good storyteller. Iman Shumpert, bro. Shump, I think, is one of the best storytellers
That's
ever.
what I was going to say. Him and Jeff Teague are the best pure storytellers.
Yeah.
by
I feel
far.
I feel like Shumpert could take my catch and shoot corner 3 and romanticize it to sound like I'm winning the finals. I don't trust anyone else to tell my story than Jeff Teague or Iman Shumpert.
I get that for sure. We got robbed with JJ Redick, man. He signed up for a horrible. Okay, I know he's getting paid well, but the stress of it and the situation, that's not a situation I want to be in. He signed up for that because he's such a competitive psychopath. Over just being the best podcaster, like NBA analyst out there. He was unbelievable at it. And now we got robbed.
He was so good, dude. I listened to every episode.
I learned something every time I listened to him.
100%.
And I like content like that, where I'm constantly learning. And he was the best at it.
Yeah, especially in terms of hoops, man. It's just, I get why he took the job. You're the head coach of the Los Angeles. He went from a 4th grade AAU team to coaching the Lakers. It's cool. It's one of the coolest jobs I think you can have. He's gonna die earlier, which sucks because the stress of it is just immense.
Oh my God.
I couldn't, bro. You know who I think truly has the coolest job on planet Earth?
Nico Harrison.
Okay. Yes, but I don't think it's as cool as King McClure's or Jay
King
Billis.
McClure's is awesome.
I think Jay Billis has the coolest job.
And
or
he's
Ernie
aw-
Johnson.
they're-
I think Ernie Johnson.
Ernie's awesome.
I think Ernie Johnson has the coolest job on planet Earth. If you got paid based on coolness of job,
you think it'd be
Ernie Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, they just and those 3 make it so easy.
Dude,
all you got to do is set them up, and you get instant clickbait.
You talk basketball for hundreds of thousands, some of those millions of dollars.
Think about how easy his job is when, well, I mean, let's be honest, it's not easy. He's
No.
incredible at it.
No, he's super intelligent
He's
guy.
incredible at it. But the fact that, like, he can just swing it over to Chuck and he's talking about the women in San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is amazing. That's like nonstop entertainment.
Insane. Yeah.
Chuck's got so many like that.
Oh.
And then Shaq just laughs the whole time. It's perfect.
The pause clips are the best.
I was so worried we were going to lose that show.
I was too. I was actually a little heartbroken when I saw like the initial news. Luckily, they're figuring it out, but
Right. They'll stay around.
yeah, hopefully so, man. I just it's too big of a staple in NBA basketball now. It's like Stephen A. Smith. Like we expect Stephen A. Smith to work until he dies.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right. I don't think there's anyone on planet Earth who's like he should retire. No,
There's
dude.
definitely people
Well, yes,
that are like, I hate.
but the casual, not saying we're casual fans because we actually know ball, but we're in like the casual fan tier, right? We're not
Yeah,
an
we are.
analyst, we're not a coach. The casual fan tier, we all expect Stephen A. Smith to work until he dies.
Yeah. Did you feel that way about Skip?
No, he wasn't as impactful, man. That live, Skip Bayless, or well, yeah.
I think that news about Skip is the least surprising thing. The whole Fox Sports scandal.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It's
So
like
break that down for me. I don't know. I don't know
I can't
much.
repeat anything that Skip Bayless said.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a whole ordeal. It's like sexual harassment, stuff like that. And
yeah. See, because I saw it like involved some chick, Joyce,
yeah,
whatever.
Well, Joy Taylor.
Joy Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so disconnected with like what happened. I don't even know what happened.
I'm so out of touch now with like those shows. Like I
Yeah.
can't. I don't even like. I don't really watch TV like that. I'm all YouTube and podcasts.
Yep.
It's just by far the best. Like long form content is my favorite, and then like with clips here and there, obviously. But that's so much better than just watching them argue for 30 minutes with commercial breaks.
Bro, this is why I do this.
It's so much better. Like having
think
just like
it's-
real conversations.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole reason why we wanted to do Beyond the Arc. Like being able to have people in and kind of show them a professional experience, and then it's just real. It's just real conversation. Like I like that so much more than, I mean, what all these people get paid to do now.
Yeah. The hard part with it though is finding a way to get paid with it.
For sure.
And like, I struggle with it, but I mean, obvious. Like I say, I would do this for free. Obviously, I do it for free, basically. But I mean, bro, if time and money were not an issue, I would be doing exactly what we're doing right now. Probably just in like a better studio. That's it.
I get that.
That's it, dude.
I get that for sure. I mean, this is pretty ideal. Like,
Yeah.
way better way to do it.
I mean, I get to chop it up with super cool people who actually know ball, which.
Yeah, you're not arguing with casuals.
Yeah, I hate the casual fan, dude. And I've told this story before, but we were at that Mavericks game, and Brandon Ingram did a slow step, and everyone in the stands is, oh, that's travel. No, it's not a travel. It's a slow step. Stop watching basketball.
I'm so used to it at this point.
It pisses me off, BG.
Well, but I'm talking about with all. Yeah, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Twitter's terrible too. Like the people that the people that you find, the gremlins that you find in the comment sections on these posts are unbelievable.
You read all that?
I don't read all of it.
Well, some
I
of
don't
it.
read all of it, but like like when major news happens or like NBA trades and I'm looking at reviews, what people think, what the streets are saying.
You know who needs to get fired?
Jerry Jones,
Well, duh. But I mean, you can't fire him.
Brian Schottenheimer, the head coach he hired today.
Who's the? I don't know anything about football, dude. Football is so. You might as well be talking about
That's a sport I'm a casual fan of.
UFOs. Yeah, I don't know anything about football.
I
bro.
used to be diehard, and now it's like Jerry Jones doesn't control my emotions anymore.
Yeah,
Like I can't do it.
being a Cowboys fan hurts, man.
Yeah,
You hear the voice crack I had that with. Like,
exactly.
it hurts, man.
Exactly. And that's where you deal with more casual fans than, like, more casual takes than anywhere else, is that whole fan base that I am unfortunately a part of.
That's why I don't comment on the Cowboys. What am I going to tell Jerry Jones? What?
Yeah.
Dude's got 70 years of experience in this industry. What am I going to tell him that he doesn't already know? And like,
Well, he's also not going to be like, Jackson, I think you're right. You know what I mean?
yeah, like,
You
dude,
know what I mean?
well, that's my take with sports now is like, look, I come on this podcast, I talk a lot of noise. Some people care what I have to say. But in the grand scheme of things, no one gives a damn what I have to say about the Dallas Cowboys, the most financially profitable organization in professional sports.
And
No
that's
one
what
cares.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to do what he wants to do. That's the beauty of being an owner of a team.
Yeah. Now, college basketball, little different. I'll let it fly about college basketball because I know the industry. I'm not a casual fan.
Yeah,
College
you've been
football-
involved. You've been in a major program.
Right. I know NIL, but that's the furthest extent outside of college ball, like basketball. So, like, I'll talk about softball if we're talking about NIL, but we're talking the game, bro. Don't, like, tennis. I don't know nothing about golf, tennis, football, swimming. Like, bro, y'all got it. I'm a basketball fiend. That's it, bro.
And I'm kind of at that point, too, where it's like, I'm not going to sit around and argue with people about sports I don't know about.
And then, like,
Back in the day, back at the lunch table, middle school, high school. Oh, we were just throwing out takes.
look, man, if we had gotten on sports betting back in middle school,
Oh, I would have been a degenerate.
we would have either made so much money or lost so much money because the sports takes that were thrown around a middle school lunch table were either awful or they were life-changing on a financial
Or some
basis.
revolutionary thought.
Or there were some revolutionary thoughts, some seventh graders being like, all right, hear me out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a bunch of eighth graders being like, all right, hear me out. 12-leg parlay. Bro. Oh, man. I wish, like, Prize Picks would, like, come sponsor this show because I think I would do a great job.
Dude, could you imagine just handing out picks for money? That's
No.
why, but yeah.
Did you ever get into sports betting for real?
Yeah, I've dabbled.
My senior year of high school, I was bad. My senior year of high
In
school.
high school, you were doing it?
Senior year of I was BG.
Were y'all all doing it?
BG, I was bad, bro. I was down bad. I had 2 monitors with spreadsheets and charts and all the analytics, and I was like, okay, well, who was it? Oh my God, I would always bet on this guy. Şengün. I was like, okay, Şengün.
I love Şengün.
I love him too. Made me some decent money. I would always bet on Şengün, and I'd be like, all right, Şengün is playing the Charlotte Hornets, and as far as interior defense, they're 30th in the league. So I know that if he's gonna get off this short roll and he's gonna kill in the short roll, he's gonna be able to make decisions. All right, I'm gonna go over on points, rebounds, assists, and then you would be like 1 under, and I'd be like, I want to kill myself.
You had the Jackson Prince official model. You had your own model
I had
spreadsheet.
Proprietary, trademarked. Yeah, it was all that. I didn't share it with anyone.
You should have started.
It was a good way
selling
for me.
picks.
It was a good way for me to net negative $300 when it was all said and done. So,
As a high
yeah.
school senior. Yeah, I got into it my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
And me and my boys.
Whoa.
Me and my boys.
You're toeing the line there, BG. As a college basketball player?
Oh no! Well, we're playing.
That's
NAI.
illegal.
Shut up! We're playing NAI hoops.
Come get him. Come get him.
We were playing. Yeah, dude. I mean, we were
That's
we were
gonna be a
watching
good clip.
every single college basketball game on the weekends, like every single one on a Saturday. And I'm like 25, 32, and 3. You're like fighting back at the end.
Yeah.
It's like so much stress just to lose like $10. It's like, what am I doing?
I tell you what, though, man. See, did you only bet on college basketball?
I mean, no, I was doing NFL, NBA. I really got an NBA like a year ago, and I actually was.
But you were
pretty
doing
well.
major sports.
Yeah. And
See,
it-
when
and
you
it was
find yourself
legal.
when you find yourself at 3 o'clock in the morning betting on European cricket, that's when
bad.
you have
That's bad. I have friends that were betting on Korean baseball. They're like, I lost too much money today. I'm betting on KBO tonight.
Dude, I was going to Discords and pulling out CSGO picks. I don't know anything about CSGO.
I still have friends that are betting on the NBL. And they're sending me NBL stats.
NBL picks. That
Yeah.
I trust that less than I trust European cricket.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. Or like
It's-
the second league of Spain.
Oh my God.
If you're betting on Spain's second league, you're really like trying to pull one out.
Our Run DFW guys are like playing in games that were that's definitely not allowed.
Betting on the Run DFW guys. Does TBT have any rules
TBT
on sports gambling?
does. TBT, like, yeah.
Can you bet
On
on
my
TBT
own
games?
team?
Yeah.
No.
Legally?
I don't think I can legally. I did not.
Well, here's
But
how-
I do know like what the line was.
For
Like-
sure.
Like we were like +2, lost by 2.
Mm.
It's like, how did they get it right?
They know better than us, man. They got the stats. I don't know. You throw two random teams together, give them 2 weeks to try out. You have 2 weeks to create a line. Isn't that crazy? You have 2 weeks to create a line and you're accurate on the line. That's how you know these guys really
Well, that's how they do it with
are
the
dialed in.
Well, I guess, yeah, TBT is even more different, too. And especially because Team for Dead had, like, 4 guys get ruled out right before.
Oh, yeah. That's
And-
crazy.
and
So
that makes
that's
it
by chance
impossible.
then.
That's
Yeah.
by chance.
That's by chance that they even got it right. Sports gambling is a crazy concept, dude. I could feel the addiction starting to like take
Well-
hold. But then but me playing for the NCAA was my saving grace because I knew that it was
So
illegal.
now that you're out of the game, what are you, come on.
Yeah.
Are you doing it now?
No, completely kicked it. It's great. I haven't looked at Prize Picks. I have all of my buddies sending me picks, like my content creator friends. They all bet on these games, and I'm like, look, dude, no. I've been down that road. I came back to almost zero because if you looked at the dollar amounts that I had
That you've risked.
funneled through,
That you've risked.
that I've risked.
Action Network, like, whenever I bet, I put it into Action Network because it tracks it. Mm-hmm. And the people that you follow, like, you can say, it'll say, like, total risked. And
It's a scary
I have
site,
friends, yeah, and it's like their total bet number, and it's like, oh my God, think about how much time you've spent on this, and also like, for me, when I knew it was bad, would be like back then, whenever I'd be like, if I had one good day, like one good day betting, as soon as the day's over, I'm looking at the lines for the next day, and I'm like, like, why am I up late at night thinking about my picks for the following day just because I had one good one?
Yeah.
And then, it's
And
like,
then you think you got to figure it out too.
And that's exactly
the problem
what it is.
because you make. Oh,
You're like, I
I
tried
made
this new strategy
$700 on this line one time. This 6-leg made like $700-800 on a 6-leg, dude. I was like, I've cracked it. I cracked the code. I got it figured out now. We're betting on these players when they play in these circumstances. We've got it. And
you're
I'm
like-
like handing out picks to my boys. 2 days later, I'm
like,
like
"Jackson."
hiding in the hallway,
They're
like,
like, Jackson, what are you doing? What
Yeah.
are you telling me?
yeah.
It's like our group chat today. Did you see T Will?
Our group chat today was hilarious.
T Will
Oh,
had
man.
a 12-legger,
Dude.
and Texas lost to Abilene Christian.
So I talked to Brock Cunningham about that game, and he was, man. Well, last year because we played Colorado State in the first round,
Yeah.
he told me before they left, he was like, "Man, I'm just not trying to repeat the Abilene Christian scenario." And I was like, "Yeah." Losing to a mid-major from your own state is crazy when you're supposed to be the premier team.
It's like, yeah, that's worst case scenario. Like, worst case scenario. That ACU team is good too, but
Very good team.
but at the same time, it's like that just can't happen if you're Texas.
Do you think that's even possible in the NIL era?
Yeah.
A
Well,
mid-major upsetting a Power 5?
I'm starting to think. Well, yeah, I guess that's interesting to think about. They need to put in some sort of rule because their guys are just going to get poached every year. Every time they have a good player, they're just going to get poached. And
Yeah.
that wasn't really the case.
No, it wasn't. But I don't know though, because you would think in the NIL era, coaches like Calipari, you think that they would be thriving, but they're not. It's so strange.
But he hasn't really changed his strategy, I think. Like, I
True.
think for him, he's still so freshman heavy. And I
Yeah.
don't think nowadays
You can't.
that's not really the way to do it.
Well, you got the Brock Cunninghams of the world spending 6 years, and we'll talk more about this in a second, but like you got them spending 6 years in college.
Completely, yeah, you're a grown man.
Yeah, grown. Like,
Yeah.
there's guys who are 4 years younger than you playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about. Like,
Sure.
Ron is 19, and Brock was 25.
Brock, 25? Yeah.
When he was 25 when he left here. That is, bro, completely changes the landscape. Now, throw out a hypothetical scenario. We've now figured out how to spend 11 years in college.
It's unbelievable. I've literally, if these guys are smart,
Are you thinking the JuCo rule?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would go JuCo and just get as good as I could. Like if you're like a 3-star, or yeah, like a lower level 3-star. Say you have no Power 5 offers in football. Why would you not go JuCo for 2 years and come out a 7-figure player?
Yeah. I mean,
Because those guys
or
are going
even
to
a
be
high
better
six-figure.
than high school 3-stars.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
all of a
coaches
sudden
don't
you're
even
making a
look at
ton of
coaches don't
money.
even look at high school anymore.
And then you're doing 4 or 5 years, depending on if you can get a medical red shirt out of it, or if you red shirt. You're doing 4 or 5 years in 6-figure money.
you can do 4 years at a JuCo, bro. You can go red shirt.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. No. This is a real scenario. You can do 4 years at a JuCo. You can go red shirt, play medical red shirt, play transfer to a Power 5, medical red shirt there. Actually, no, you can red shirt like a normal red shirt. So yeah, that's what it is. You go to a JuCo, red shirt, play medical red shirt, play red shirt, play medical red shirt, play another medical red shirt, play. That adds up to like 11 years.
What's the upside?
You got to keep getting hurt.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. Like, what's the upside to doing 4 years at the JuCo though? I think you just do 2 and you come out an absolute beast, and then you go to school.
Okay, here's the upside. You take a guy who is a 6'11" African kid who has
Needs
no
to learn the
coordination, doesn't know the game.
Yeah.
But a JuCo is going to take a chance on him because he's 6'11" and you can teach skill. Now you spend 4 years at a JuCo. Well, now you're a high Power 5 player. You're making $1 million your first year.
Completely different. Yeah.
Completely different game.
situation.
Completely different ball game. You take a 6'11" guy who can't even write his own name, but you teach him how to short roll.
Can't even write his own name. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
Just that low level of coordination.
Me and Jake were talking about this today, and I think this is still the case. I know this was the case last year because I worked at the Mass Street Collective, but I'm pretty sure foreign guys can't get paid NIL.
Correct. That is correct.
So
On U.S. soil.
on U.S. soil, if that ever gets changed, will that ever get changed? There's got to be a way they can, because it
Well-
doesn't make sense to me the way it is. Like they should be compensated, I feel like.
They absolutely should.
And if they are, and I'm sure there's some under the table stuff going on, naturally, there's no way to really, for the NCAA or any organization like that, to check all these different universities.
Well, what you do is you increase the scholarship stipend
Right.
on a player basis.
Right.
Because you can take a guy who, now I'm thinking of a very specific high level athlete who came here, was a foreigner, and you just say, oh, well, he's from a foreign country, so he needs additional money
Is that what happened?
to live here, to my knowledge. They need additional money to live here.
Yeah.
And currency exchanges and all that stuff. They need additional money, but that money doesn't have to be specified, so it comes in the form of scholarship stipend. But then who are they getting the scholarship from?
Right.
Oh, well, it's a family who happens to be a donor of Texas Athletics.
Okay, that makes more sense. But could you imagine
That's legal.
if they could get paid the amount of European talent that would be in college basketball and how that would change everything.
Do you think American players will get wiped out?
No, I don't think there's any way to wipe
Even
them
on a
out.
percentage basis?
Like,
do you think...
do I think it'd be 50-50? I don't.
Do you
think
think it would be
I don't even
60-40 American?
I think it'd be 80-20.
80-20
I mean, what do
American?
you think it is right now? Like 99-1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
98-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I think it'd still be
maybe.
80-20.
that's a big jump, though.
That's a major jump. It could still be 90-10, and that's a big jump. But think about how the level would change. Just
But-
just the overall product. Like,
Well, do you think...
be more competitive.
I guess now with the NIL era, that's a decent take, though, because you think about a guy, he's 16 years old. He gets an offer from a professional team in Europe. Maybe he's the second league in EuroLeague, and he might be making $200,000, $100,000 in American dollars. But he knows that if he waits just one more year, he can go to an American university and make quadruple that.
Changes the game.
Completely changes the game with NIL.
Imagine Luka Doncic
But
at Arizona.
that's only if they change the foreign law to where you can make NIL as a
Yeah.
foreigner on American soil.
That'd be what it would have to be. But
Yeah.
could you imagine Victor Wembanyama at Duke? Luka Doncic
They'd
at
paid him
Arizona?
$19 million a year, bro.
That would be unbelievable.
They wouldn't be able to recruit anyone else because they'd have to pay him. They'd have to pay him NBA
and you'd
salary.
still have the best defense in college basketball.
What do you think about Quinn Ewers turning down $6 million?
Yeah, that one's from here. Was it here or was it to transfer?
Transfer. I believe it was to transfer.
Because they've got to be handing the keys over to Arch. But
They pushed Quinn out.
I mean, obviously, personally, if I were him, I don't think I would have done it. $6 million is a lot of money. Man.
Okay. $6 million, yes, but he's going to go be a late second round, early third round pick. And
And you're
make
not even
less?
making $6 million. That's what I'm saying. I would have taken the 6.
Oh, you would have taken the 6
Because too, like, if you'll make more next year playing in college, like, why not just try and work your ass off and see if you can go in the first round next year, where you actually have, like, think about how much more money you
He
would
gets
make.
hurt too much.
Yeah,
But even then, you get hurt, medical red shirt.
I would.
And then you still make the $6 million.
I would.
Because
And-
it's not pay to play.
And these older quarterbacks get drafted anyways. Hendon Hooker from Tennessee was like 24 coming out, 25.
Go Vols, baby.
Yeah, and then he's a first, second round pick. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, they'll draft quarterback regardless of age.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't know anything about football, but you would think that's the smart move. But also,
But I also get it.
Quinn got private jet deals and like all this. Quinn's fine financially.
Quinn's fine.
He's also got the wealthiest people in Austin managing his money, and he's got all these like self-directed IRAs and these life insurance policies. He's got all that, so he's good.
yeah, we know he's well taken care of.
Yeah,
But if you can maximize it, I don't know why you wouldn't.
yeah.
It's like, like
I wonder how much these guys pay in taxes because I know it's a problem.
Well, the problem
with
is
NIL,
when-
it's a huge
the problem is when they don't have advice, like good sound advice, and then ultimately they end up not preparing for when tax season comes around, and then they're screwed.
We're plugging you in, dude.
We're trying.
This is what's happening here.
We're
You see how?
trying.
Yeah.
I guess that was the hook. But no, I mean, like, I think that's the thing that sticks out to me, though, where it's like, eventually I'd love to get to the point to where I can help those people out.
For sure.
Because so many people get bad advice. Me and you have talked about this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think some people are set up in better situations than others. And,
Yeah.
I think sometimes, I mean, you know how it is. I mean, so many people want, like, think about the amount of people that reach out to UT basketball players and are like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you send this to me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And,
It's bad, dude.
everybody has their hands out, right?
Yeah.
And so,
even me, and I got no collective money.
right.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel bad. It sounds crazy to say I feel bad because they have amazing situations and, like we were talking about, state-of-the-art facilities and they're getting paid. But I do think some people who come from different backgrounds. Like, I wish they had better advice.
Well, all they know is ball.
All they know is ball.
Like, we played with those guys. It's like they're incredible basketball players. But when they look at when you, as an intelligent person, look at the end of their career and you're just sitting here, man, you're going to be stocking shelves. Like, you're going to be moving boxes because you don't have any other skills. And I hate to say that because I have friends who are super talented basketball players and they're just trying to hold on in college. And all they care about is the dream of playing basketball, which is a great thing. Of course, they should try to chase that. But it ain't for everybody.
And I think by default, a lot of people like that end up just going into coaching when they don't really like it.
But that ends up creating bad coaches.
They don't really like it. Of course, they don't really like it. They don't really have the skill set for it. Or it's kind of like, oh, well, I don't know anything other than ball, and so I'm going to just coach.
Yeah.
But to be honest, man, like, I get it at the head coach level. I get it at the head coach level, in the Power 5 level and all that. Like, I get that. Like, dude, they're making so much money. I understand why their job is so demanding.
Yeah.
But these coaches at the entry level that are there at 5 a.m. and leave at 12 a.m., that is a completely different grind. And I don't think these players realize how much goes into it sometimes.
To be a coach at that level, I don't know that there's enough money in it to justify me being a GA because I value my time so much. I would I'm cool. Like, people have asked me, like, oh, well, Jackson, now that you're done playing, are you going to go try to be a GA? No, hell no.
It's really hard to have family.
Yeah, you can't have family. You don't have much of a social life. You're doing all of the grunt work for $9 an hour.
Everybody now wants to talk about work-life balance. That is the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, there is zero.
Well, if you want to be exceptional at anything, there is no work-life balance. This is
zero.
working. This is the fullest extent of my social life.
This is your balance.
Yeah.
Is work.
Yes.
And I think for some people, I mean, that just comes naturally, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think some people want it to be that way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that, like, where I'm just like, I just want to constantly be doing something. I ask myself a lot, like, am I doing enough? And that's just kind of my default.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a healthy way to live sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I'm sure you go through this all the time.
I'm in a perpetual state of I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, I always feel that way.
Yeah.
But then I do think sometimes it is good to take some moments to kind of look back and be like, wow, my life's changed a lot in 9 months. And
Yep.
I'm sure you feel that way too, where it's like
100%.
But obviously not comfortable. Like, it's not like I'm just good with where we're at, but it is fun, like, the journey. I'm trying to enjoy the journey a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's a running joke with me and my girlfriend that I work my butt. I work from sunup to sundown. But once every 2 months, I will be throwing up because my body will just completely shut me off and, like, force me to take a rest day. Like,
Really?
I was sick on this past Monday, I think, or this past Sunday or something. Maybe like a week ago, I was sick, throwing up, couldn't move. And it was for no other reason that I could find other than that I was working and stressing out so much that my body just couldn't handle it anymore.
I was going to ask if you just thought that was a stress thing.
I really do believe it is a stress thing.
Do you deal with anxiety like that a lot?
I mean, I'm always anxious.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to lean on my faith a lot. I think my faith is a huge part of that.
Right.
And I get less anxious during seasons of life in which I'm doing better in my faith.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, when I'm really
Makes
in
life
tune,
so much easier.
Yeah, I'm in a lot better spot. But I still worry, and I'm still like, I don't know, because I'm trying to go down this route where the best thing that could happen is I'm financially free and everyone else in my entire bloodline will be financially free. But the worst thing that can happen is I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't think that's going to happen, Jackson.
I don't think that's going to
Believe it or
happen.
not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I don't think
My
that's
worst
gonna
case, my worst case scenario, and I've said this before, my worst case scenario is I end up being a high school basketball coach But if I end up being a high school basketball coach, knowing that I gave it everything I had until the last drop of blood, I'll be okay. I'll be good.
You're also not going to be a high school basketball coach. So I can assure you of those two things. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. But that being a worst case scenario, that's not that bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's some people's best case. So I'm very fortunate, but it's also because I work my ass off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're the same way.
I try to be. I mean,
I wouldn't hang around you if you weren't, bro.
I don't have as much going on as you do, but it's. I mean,
You got
it's
a lot.
It's kind of like what you're saying though, like because I know you were talking about financial freedom and all that, but I also feel like I know a lot of people who are like, oh well, I just want to retire early or whatever.
Yeah.
But whenever you're in a schedule like that, like what you have, even when you're financially free, you're not going to stop.
No, dude.
Because
It's
there's
a game.
well, it's not just that. It's not just the competitive side of it. It's also like I just can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I have to actively be working towards something. And obviously, do not get me wrong, there's of course a competitive side of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I want to, I'm
get
not
it.
saying I compare myself to a bunch of people, but I'm just saying like obviously you want to be, you want to like succeed and do that whole thing. But yeah, I think my main point though is just like I don't think you'll ever stop. Like I think obviously there will be a point in your life, and I don't really want to think about all the way down the line already. I don't know how we got here.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard to turn that off, I think, whenever you're so used to working from sun up to sundown. But yeah, I mean, I definitely am with you on all of those feelings.
Well, I just think that the work changes. I think it becomes more impactful. Like you stop working for yourself and you start working for others. Mm-hmm. So one thing for me is, yeah, obviously right now, everything that I do, it's for me because I'm not married.
Yeah.
So everything that I do, every decision that I make is in my best interest. And I'm not worried about anybody else. I do not care about anyone else's feelings, financial situation. I don't give a shit.
You don't care. You don't care about the bad comments.
No, I don't care about. Dude, I don't care about any
Do
of that.
you even get those?
Bad comments? That's how I know you haven't read through my comment sections
Come on, man.
extensively.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
No, I get a lot of hate, bro. I
What?
get less hate than I do love, but I get a lot of hate.
What? On Instagram?
Yeah, dude. Well, people will be like, "Oh, this guy just talks bad about college basketball because he got cut," and I don't know. I don't read all of them. I don't know what they say because I don't read them all. But like,
Yeah.
there's this one account. I recently blocked this one account because he was just getting annoying.
Oh,
But-
it was every post.
Yeah, it was every post twice, at least twice. And I killed him with kindness for a little while. I was like, hey, man, I don't know what's going on with your life situation, but I hope that God blesses you in a big way this week.
Did you comment that? Or
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, 100%. And I truly mean that. I hope the guy is doing well. But
What'd he say?
he was just like, yeah, man, I've hated on you since day one, and that's it right there. You're a Christian guy, and God's not real, so you're an idiot. And I'd be like, all right, man, I'm sorry you feel that way. And then he'd be like, shut up, you're a walk-on, you make no money, and you make all these stupid videos. This guy really has a podcast thinking that he's big. And I'm like, dude, I don't do the podcast because I think I'm big. I do it because it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. This is my favorite thing, just talking shit with one of my boys.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. This is what life is about, bro.
There's nothing better. We're talking about
nothing
your
better.
quadruple doubles.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. But I'm just like, I'm a happy guy, bro. Top to bottom.
I get that. I can't relate. Like I don't have bad comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even have a comment section. I have one post on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like that's how you know they're not doing better than you. End of story. Like it's like if that's what they choose to do with their time, that's what they choose to do with their time.
That's also how I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't getting hated on by people, I'm not important enough yet.
Or you're not being your true self. Because
Yeah.
there's going to be people that are going to disagree with you regardless of who you are. If you're constantly just people pleasing and stuff like that, then you're not being who you are.
Well, dude, you have seen me off camera and you've seen me on camera.
It's the same person.
I'm the same dude.
Same
And
exact
people
person.
people are like, there's no way you actually talk like this off camera. Like, what?
No,
Bro,
you're
I'm not. It doesn't
literally
bother
the
me.
exact same person.
Dude, I'm the same guy. The same guy. Because, well, and that's the thing, too, is like, if I was a completely different person on camera, then I have to create this whole new persona. And it's like, that's exhausting.
Oh my God, yeah.
I develop a split personality.
Yeah, I mean,
Who wants that?
I can't relate, like I said, because I'm not on camera this much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that'd be impossible to manage. Like, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you do some of the things you do either.
Like what?
You started a TBT team at what, 22, 23?
23. I had some help. I mean, me and Jake did it together.
How did you, first off, how did you come up with the concept of a Dallas-based TBT team and then actually be the one to execute on it at 23 years old?
It's a fun story. It's been a crazy journey, honestly. Like, it started in like 2021, so a little after COVID, the year after COVID, where Jake and I, you know, we're in the summers because he played a year of college hoops. I obviously played. We both played at the NAIA level, but over the summers we would do anything to find good runs. So sometimes that was setting up our own runs, where hey, we're meeting at this park by Reedy High School, and we invite every college hooper we know, and we have the Julians of the world and Cam Kennedy, who's one of my good friends who has the You Should Know podcast with Peyton.
Yep.
And we have like 20 college hoopers. Devin Rowland, you met him. And like, so we would do that, or we'd be at Lifetime Fitness and stuff like that. So we obviously met so many people from the area. And two of them were Admin Gilder, who you know, AG, and Big Zeke, Josh Nazikor.
Yep.
And so they were both playing in the TBT in 2021 in Wichita. And so Jake and I were like, let's just go. Let's just go to the games for a few days and watch, just because we're hoop sickos, and obviously we wanted to support our boys. So I have family from Wichita, so we stayed with like my grandma, went to these games for 3 days, and you know, we got to watch Big Zeke. AG was hooping. They both played great, and we kind of found out about like some of the teams in the tournament and kind of how it works. And so we found out about this team called Eberline Drive, and I'm actually friends with their guys now. They had a great past year, but they've been in the tournament every single year. So we're going into year 12 of the TBT. This will be their 12th year. And they basically just started, it's just two friends, and one of them grew up on Eberline Drive. And so he called the team Eberline Drive. They entered a team, and now they just have a team in it every year. And so I reached out to him, Jacob Hirschman, and I was like, hey, man, what are the steps? Like, my friend and I, we want to put a team in the tournament from Dallas-Fort Worth because we feel like we know a lot of the guys from the area, and we're passionate about the game, and we'd love to do it. It'd be fun. So we had the name Run DFW in 2021. So I reached out to Jacob Hirschman, and then I reached out to the founder of TBT on LinkedIn, Dan Friel. And I was like, hey, man, like, I would love to have a team in 2023 or 2024. Like, what are the steps? And I think we might have talked on the phone one time or something like that and just kind of exchanged some ideas. So fast forward a couple years, obviously Jake and I are still in college, and going into the summer of 2023, I was like, it would still be so cool to have a team, and I was like, I just want to at least explore it a little bit. I don't want to look back and regret it. So reached out to the founder of TBT again, and I was like, hey, I just want to work the event, and I'll do it for free for as long as you need me, and I'll do it in Wichita. I'll stay at my grandma's house. And so me, Jake, and my friend from school, Matthew, who sat on the bench for our game last year, we worked it for free for like 10 days and just networked, and we met everybody in the company. And I was like, dude, like, there's not that many people that actually work for the basketball tournament and like this whole thing. And so I got to network and meet everyone. And so after that, I mean, I had a business plan written up in August, and I started connecting with my mentors, and they kind of reviewed it for me. And then I just, on a monthly basis with TBT, I was like, hey, I think we can get Admin Gilder, Josh Nazikor, Olin Carter, who played for us, and then Javante McCoy, who's also in the G League. And they're like, I didn't expect you to say these names. And so just on a monthly basis, we kind of stayed in touch, and then found out late April of 24 that we got in. And it was just a full sprint from there. But it was so fun. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's a cool story, man. I think so. You guys came up with the concept in 21,
We had the name Run DFW, yeah.
but y'all didn't get in until April 24. So, like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys, and one of the reasons why I admire you and Jake so much is that there was no shiny object syndrome with this concept of having a TBT team based out of Dallas. Like, you guys were really just laser focused, especially once you knew it was a thing that was the ball was rolling.
Yeah,
you guys
'cause-
have just been laser focused on it.
Yeah, because we didn't make a lot of steps really until we worked it, like until we worked the event. And after that, it was kind of like, it was cool because TBT's always marketed it like, oh, anybody can play. It's getting harder and harder to play with the entry fees and all that. But, you know, it's like, what better time than now? Was kind of how it was for us. It's like I'd rather do it now before I get fully like into a career, while I have the time to give it all that I have to put this team together. And so, plus like from a networking standpoint, Jake wants to be a coach, kind of like what we talked about. I want to be, you know, I want to work in wealth management for athletes, and so being able to connect with a lot of these guys on this level has been great for us. But like you said, like being laser focused on it has been a huge advantage, and the main reason is because of the season of life that we're in.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome.
Yeah. I think I think it's cool because it's me, you, and 4 or 5 other guys all around the same age. We're all young dudes. As far as life is concerned, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, no, we're just, I mean,
but
like,
we're figuring it out.
I think a lot of us know what we want to do. Like, I think we all do. But, I mean, it's cool that we get to figure it out. And I know for me, like, the fact that, you know, like, the fact that we got to go through a hiring process even. And it was probably super unprofessional, but we could try and make it as professional as it could be, right?
Yeah, it's not like we have an HR department.
Right. And so, like, the fact that I listed an actual, like, I actually had a listing.
Yeah.
And I, like, went through those steps, right? Or went through the steps of raising money. Or I was in, you know, like, and you can relate to this, but I was in sponsorship meetings where I'm like, hey, I'm putting a slide deck together. We're doing a flyer. And then now with the podcast and figuring that whole thing out, I've never done video editing or clips or anything like that. Opus makes it very easy. Shout out, no free shout out.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, it's just so cool that it's like more of like a passion than anything, but it's like real experience at like how like we're all figuring out how to run a business together. Yeah. And I think that's really unique.
Yeah, man. There's so many moving parts to it. And for me, when I saw you guys post it, I was like, dude, I have no... At that point in time, I really had nothing else going on. So I was like, now I got a lot going on. But at that point in time, I was just looking for a cool opportunity. And I was like, all right, I kind of know these dudes because I played...
You played Swin?
I played one game in Swin. And I was like, oh, the ability to work with a TBT team, it's a great resume booster. That was my only thought, was great resume booster. All right, need a basketball ops guy. I know ball better than probably anyone else who's applying for this position. Little cocky on my part, but that's how I was going into it. Yeah. And I was like, all right, let me just shoot these guys a text. When I found out that you guys were the ones running TBT, I was like...
You didn't realize that?
Not initially. I don't know why. I thought, like... I don't know, bro. I walked in at Swin.
What were you expecting on the interview?
I walked in at Swin, and I was like, all right, these guys are probably, like, managers or something. Because it's a professional basketball league. Yeah. You don't think a guy 3 years older than you is the GM? Like, what?
The owner?
Yeah, the owner? Yeah. So I'm just like... So we get on the interview, and I'm like, oh, these dudes, like, really run this. All right, cool. I'm cool with that. It's like, at least, and my thought was, like, okay, you guys are going to be open to ideas.
Yeah.
And you were very upfront with that.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Like, I think that's the fun part about it. It's like, we're not making money on this. Like, I think some people get that confused sometimes when they talk to me.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we don't have funds right now. Like we are actively working to get to that point. But, like, this is a battle, right? Like, it's like a numbers game, and we're sending out as many emails as we can, and you hope to get a few meetings, and we've had a couple. but it's kind of like we have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Like, it's an accomplishment just having a team in the tournament. But obviously, it's like now with what we have with our 7-person staff right now, and we're going to hire more. But with our 7-person staff, it's like we can do whatever we want. We can make this whatever we want. And we have everything that we need. We have the capacity to put events together. We have the capacity to put a team in the tournament and make it feel really professional. We have the capacity to have a team that's incredibly talented that can win the event because obviously, as you know, where we're located, if we get some things to go our way and we have some players that we would want, we could have a really, really talented team.
We could, if some things really fall our way,
yeah, no,
we can
no,
have
we
one of
don't-
the craziest rosters ever.
We could, and we don't need to get into that.
No,
we
we
don't
won't,
need to
we
get into
won't.
that. We'll keep that under wraps. But
it's
is
a possibility.
Like, yeah, and also like I would truly like. I think we're more passionate about it than like I think we look at it. One thing for me, I think this opportunity is so cool because it's giving us like a launching pad into meeting anybody that we would need to know. So like it's cool that we get to reach out to, regardless of how you feel, it's cool that we get to reach out to like the staff at Texas and be like, hey, can we come get a tour? We have a TBT
that's super
team.
cool.
Tomorrow we're going to Lamar.
Yeah.
We went to SMU, UNT. I got to meet Kansas State.
Yep.
So like the fact that we got that credibility is invaluable to us.
For sure.
And then on top of that, it's kind of like, well, it's going to look really, really cool when we get to say the 5 of us, the 7 of us put together, an event in the area. Or, we did this or that. And so like that would be it'd be major for us. And that's experience that you don't get, doing other things really.
Isn't it also cool how much 5 guys can get done?
Yeah, we can get a lot done, and we're not even scratching the surface.
Well,
like
it put things into perspective for me because now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at what we're capable of doing, especially if we get some things to snowball for us. I'm like, man, 5 to 7 of us, we can have a legit 6-figure business running through this thing. We
could.
We win the TBT. Now it's a 7-figure business. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But from 5 to 7 guys.
Yeah, we could.
You know what I'm saying?
But we could. But you have to provide value other than TBT. I think a lot of people
100%.
look at TBT. Like I think a lot of people look at TBT little glass half empty, where it's like, and I mean, granted, it's kind of like what I was saying. It's kind of with the season of life that we're in, where it's like I have the time to do this.
Yeah.
A lot of other people don't. But I think a lot of people just want to say they have a team in the tournament, and I think it's a lot bigger than that for us.
Yeah.
Where it's like we want this to be like an actual local brand.
For sure.
I care almost more about that. Like obviously, like I want to obviously showcase the Metroplex to the best that I can, to the best that we can, because it means the world to me. I want to live in Dallas forever. I love it so much. It is home, and I want to showcase the community because I'm very focused on it. But also, like, we want to do things in the community, right? Like, we want to give back. We want to give people the opportunity to play the game. One day, how cool would it be if we hosted a region where we had TBT come to Dallas or Frisco? Like, that would be so awesome. And so, like, that'd be really, like, full circle for all of us. So I think that's what excites me more than just having the team. It's
For sure.
It's the events that we could set up that we've talked about, or it's, just the impact that we can have. And I feel like I can see the vision. We just got to go out there and execute.
Yeah.
And it'll come down to that. It's going to come down to kind of our chemistry as a group and how urgent we are with it. But I think we can do it.
I think we've got a good group too. Like guys
do
who
different
really know
things.
ball, guys who are experienced in different things. Like obviously, like me, I guess my specialty is in media, but like,
Well, that's something that we had no I mean,
Yeah.
obviously for me, I had no idea about any of that kind of stuff. So having your expertise there, like we have all like very unique perspectives, like where we kind of do different things. Obviously we're all passionate about basketball, but all of our skill sets are different. And so I think that makes it really good for us because we have a lot of intriguing perspectives when we can talk about different things that we want to do.
it's weird. It feels weird when I digest like being called a media expert because I don't really.
I mean, that's not your identity.
No, but like it's weird though because I get called to speak at this NIL summit, and they're like, "Oh, you know so much about NIL media and how to execute sponsorships," and me, I just look at them and I'm like, "Sure, I know what you're talking about," and then I just kind of look at all the experiences that I've had and I just kind of throw something together and I'm like, oh, I guess I can see how you think I'm a media expert.
Right.
But just because I have a podcast doesn't necessarily mean I'm an expert. But I will say that's not like to discredit myself or anything.
You have been pretty successful though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
Like with the whole media thing.
It goes back to the feeling that I haven't done anything yet.
You're just scratching the surface, bro.
Yeah. And I'm like, I plan on doing this podcast, this exact one we're on, I don't know, till I die, maybe?
Why not?
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it, bro.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of beauty in always, like, I want to always be becoming something. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I don't ever want to be like, oh, I'm at that point, you know what I mean? And now it's all downhill from here. I want to always be becoming something, learning something.
Otherwise, why are you alive?
There's no, yeah, exactly.
Right? Just die. If you're not,
just move on.
If you're not trying to evolve in some way, just die. Mm-hmm. Your job here is done. Dude, I don't care about people's feelings, bro. Like, stop breathing up our oxygen, man.
You're not
like,
politically correct.
Stop breathing up our oxygen, bro. Like, move on, dude. You know I'm not PC, bro. But
PC.
Yeah, I'm not PC.
Right.
I think that's why some people just don't like me. It's either you love me or you hate me, man. There's no in between. And I know who's who by how you come present yourself to me. I've had people who don't like me come up to me in public and they're like, "Hey, I don't like you." And I'm like, "Well, I don't like you either."
Really?
Straight up.
Yeah, that's different.
Or
I don't know about that.
Sometimes my response is like, "Okay, why don't you like me?" And then it'll be something that is not my character at all. It'll be, "Oh, I heard you say a line," or like, "Oh, you got your walk-on spot because your dad's a donor." Yo, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that my dad is a donor. And I want to address this real quick.
Go for it. Go on your tangent, King McClure style.
Yeah, my bad, man. My parents are teachers, bro. Like, and we have 4 siblings, 2 of which have special needs that insurance doesn't cover. So, like, tell me again how my dad donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the University of Texas so his son could have a jersey to get kicked off the team?
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah. Like, shut up, bro. Like, shut up. Like, that doesn't even sound right. But it's just, oh, I can't believe this 6-foot white kid with slick back hair ended up being a basketball player at the university. I can't fathom a universe where that's even remotely possible. So his dad must have provided money.
But you know that's how it works, man. People want that opportunity.
For sure. I know people would have killed to be in my position. I know that. People would kill to be in the position I'm in right now. But like,
but that's why they're hating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
That's how it goes because they don't have it.
I get mad when that comment really that one does it for me, B. And I'm gonna get a lot.
That's a blatant lie.
I'm gonna get a lot more of those now that I've said it out loud that it bothers me. But
yeah, now they're literally
now they
be
know.
the go-to.
Your dad's donor.
Oh, you can really get Jay Prince if you say this.
Yeah, you can really get him.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's really trying to get me. I'm not big.
People are
bro.
gonna be commenting rent free.
I'm not. Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. The media world is so strange. And I'm 21. You're 24?
24.
Yeah. I'm
getting
21.
old, bro.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if you're 24 or 25. You're
getting
younger
old,
than
bro.
Brock was when he left, so you're good, man.
I guess.
You're straight.
I guess.
You're
Brock's
straight,
still
dude.
playing, though.
He's 6'8". He got it.
He's 6'8"? Why did I not know?
No, he's probably like
6'8"?
6'7". 6'7".
Okay.
He's not a wing, though. He's a 4. Solid 4.
Yeah.
No, he's probably 6'7", 6'8".
I didn't realize he was that tall for some reason.
He's up there, man. He's up there. He, never mind. I'm not even going to say that on camera. But,
What?
nothing, dude. I'm not even, I'll tell you after. But Yeah, he's 6'7", 6'8". He's a solid 4. Like, I mean, he's playing in Belgium, and he told me
And you know how he is when you're a grown man, you're 25 on campus. You've got to be kind of jacked at that point. You've been in that college weight program for 5, 6 years.
But he's not even jacked though. He's just lean.
He's just strong though. Like he's setting those hard screens.
I was the recipient of many of
I
those.
think I've heard this story.
I was a recipient of one where he was physically, like visually and audibly angry. He had just got done getting cussed out by one of the coaches. I mean, 5 seconds before he sets this screen on me. Dude, I don't know where I landed, but I was just, man.
That's like the worst. I fortunately have never been the recipient of a screen like that.
I was guarding Max,
I've kind of
and
been
he's
like
running off
knocked
those pin
back.
downs.
I've never been like put on the ground.
I got laid out.
It happened to me one time. I laid out one freshman at practice like 2 years ago.
Oh, you did the laying out.
Yeah, like
I've
2 years
never
ago.
done that. I'm not big enough.
First time we put in a play where I'm like supposed to set a ghost screen, and I didn't ghost it. I didn't ghost it, and
He's expecting not to get touched, and you just-
He's on the ground. He's on the ground, and I still got a wide open 3 and made it.
Of course you did, because now your defender is like,
He's on the floor. I just ran back. Yeah, it was fun.
yeah, because he's a freshman. You're just a bully, bro.
I'm quite the opposite.
No,
I'm quite the opposite.
you're a nice guy. You're a great guy.
Natural.
I would
pleaser.
I need to once I get back to Dallas, we're gonna get those runs in, and we're really gonna see who's the best shooter.
We'll have to set up like some actual competitions. Jake will want to be involved too, but come on, we all know he's not on that level.
He can keep score. Yeah.
Jake challenged me last year. They were all hyping him up, and we did like just 5 at a spot, and he was up like 3 shots or 2 shots going in the last spot, and I basically went like 7 for my last 7, and he missed every shot at the last spot. it was legendary. It was
Yeah.
awesome. But I mean, obviously Jake has a burner too. I'll put our staff up against any other TBT team. Straight up.
Let's
any
run it.
other. I told the TBT, the company last year, I was like, hey, it's like whenever there's a 3-point contest again, you're gonna let a GM play in it, okay? And they're like, yeah, I don't know about that. But I was like, well,
They should have a staff game.
Could you imagine?
They should have a staff. Dude, they should do it like how the NCAA does it, where there's a manager game, and then the next day there's a game. We should
Yes.
have a staff game.
Exactly.
100%. If your staff can't win the TBT,
we would hire.
we would run. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would just load up the staff.
Yeah, just load up the staff.
Yeah.
At that point, you win already.
Yeah, our staff.
Dude, think about the mental aspect, though. Like, we play the morning of our game, play that morning, and then we got to see them later in the same gym, and we're like,
Would be crazy.
kick y'all's ass. Really.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and our staff's nice. Our staff, whenever everybody's in Dallas this summer, we are going to be pulling up to every run.
Yeah,
The 5 of us.
let's do it.
And we got 4 college athletes, and we have the ultimate role player, Sam Allred. Let's go. And it's going to be fun.
Yeah, bro. That's awesome, man.
I can't wait.
Oh, I'm excited, dude. Well, BG, man, I appreciate you. This has been super
It's been
fun.
fun.
It's crazy that we're an hour and a half in.
I know. It doesn't feel like it.
How?
It doesn't feel like it
I
at
don't,
all.
I don't know, man.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude, you're always a great guy to talk to. I'm excited to have you on as a repeat guest. in
Yeah,
the
we'll
future.
do
gonna be
this
great.
again in the summer or something.
Absolutely,
We'll
man.
have to.
Absolutely.
We'll have to do
We'll
it.
do it on the road at TBT.
Let's do it at practice on the court in Wichita.
Let's do it.
Well, if
Yeah.
we go to Wichita. We
Wherever
don't know.
we end up going.
Wherever we end up going.
We'll get it done for sure, bro. We'll get it done for sure. But BG, man, appreciate you coming down to Austin for
Yeah, thanks, Jay
for
Prince.
this podcast for no other reason.
Yeah, no other reason.
For no other reason.
Nope.
Well, man, guys, make sure that you go follow my man BG, the owner and the GM of Run DFW. This guy is a super good friend of mine. Gonna be a good friend of mine for a very long time. So make sure that you go follow him. Go follow everything that we're doing at Run DFW, whether it be the Beyond the Arc podcast or the Run DFW main page. And if you can find any way to support outside of that, please do so. We're looking for all the help that we can get so that way we can go and win the TBT this summer. And with all of that being said, whether you're on the court or on the sideline, go with God and always do your best. Peace.